Hey everybody, Bam Collectibles here, back for another version of Authentic versus Recast. Jumping straight in, I will tell you this box got wrecked. It physically looks like somebody looked at this box and said, you know what, this would be great to sit down on while eating my lunch. By the way, thank you all for the unexpected, overwhelming success of the Zabuza death scene Recast versus Authentic video that I did last. My goal with these videos is to give you an up-close and personal experience on when you spend the money to get an authentic statue made of resin, what it looks like, and when you spend the fraction of the cost to buy a PVC recasted version, what that looks like. This figure that you see before you actually took 3 months to ship to me. After I saw the momentum with the Zabuza death scene video, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on buying another one, and it took that long for this to arrive. My guess is the delay in shipment had to do with what's going on all throughout the world currently, but it was a bit disappointing for it to arrive in the condition that it did. You can tell inside of the plastic packaging, everything is rather loose and it shakes a little bit when you move it around, so that's not going to be good for the shipping process. Let me know in the comments below if you have any experience buying recasted versions of statues and what it was like. Was it good? Was it bad? Did you like it? We will get into the details later, but unfortunately, initially taking this out of the packaging, I am a bit concerned. First, let's go ahead and take a look at Ma and Pa. We'll pop them out of the packaging. Sorry, take two. Right off the bat here, we can see that the right version is the recast and the left is the authentic. They look pretty dang good next to each other, so good job on the recast part for making it look somewhat similar to the original. You can see how the paint application looks different on these. The right is more of a flat look, while the left has kind of a glossier look to it. I think that might have to do with my lights, but it's also just the way that the paint sits on top of resin is different from the way that it sits on top of plastic or PVC. With Ma out of the way, we'll go ahead and take a look at Pa. He has very similar quality. For some reason, the left authentic is actually larger than the right recast. If you look closely, the one thing I will say is Pa's shading and overall coloring is better. And you can see here on the right recasted version that is made of PVC plastic, so it's bendable, while this is made of resin, so it's kind of like a harder stone feel to it. Before somebody busts me up in the comments down below, I do know that Pa is Fukasaku and Ma is Shima. I'm just saying Ma and Pa because it is overall easier, and that's what they were referred to in the show when they talk to each other. With these two out of the way, let's go ahead and bring in the base and take a closer look. This is where things are going to start to get downhill a little bit. First impressions is they don't look too bad next to each other. The left authentic, the dusting or cloud next to it looks more white, which is realistic, while the right one does look kind of yellowish. The left has more of the serial code or authentic information on the bottom there, as well as the artwork, while the right recast is kind of hollow on the bottom and very lightweight. As expected, on the authentic, the paint job is perfect for the rocks. On the left, you'll see a hole. That's where a steel rod in Naruto's foot will go, and there's also a magnet impacted in here that's on Naruto's other foot that will allow him to connect to the base nice and secure. The dusting part is the exact color that I would imagine in being both white and grayish, and the front Naruto logo on there is made of steel. Overall, what you can 100% rely on being consistent is the quality throughout the resin statues. Because the base is made of resin, it has some more weight to it, which allows it to support such a character standing on it so vertically. Upon looking at the grooves inside where Naruto's feet are eventually going to go, I don't know what that black piece is that's hanging in there. It almost looks like it was ripped off of something for some reason. You can see the dust effect has a yellowish tint to it, as well as there's some black markings on there. My guess is just poor quality control. This piece does stand behind Naruto, so I'm sure if there's any area for them to skimp details on, it would be that part. Overall, this one feels exactly like it costs. It's cheap. I'm not sure this is going to even be able to support the weight of Naruto, but I guess we will go ahead and find out soon. For those wondering, I did pick up the recasted version off of eBay for $45 plus $10 shipping. So far, though, is it worth the price difference between the two? Not yet. I don't think so, but the devil's going to be in the details as we dive into the face sculpt of the actual character, Naruto in Sage Mode included. One thing I did forget to mention before is the recasted base does have a huge wobble to it, while the authentic version is solid, not moving at all. This statue is actually supposed to represent that moment when Naruto returns to the village after his training and sees the whole village just wrecked by pain. First, we're going to be setting the bar high by taking a look at the authentic version of him. As you can see, the pose exactly captures how he looked like when he was standing on top of Gamakichi when he returned to the village. The look on his face mixed with the crossing of the arms really captures that serious tone in that moment. As I mentioned before, the foot here does have that steel rod, and over here is a magnet that will help him attach and stay secure to the base. I really love the sculpting of the skull. It's really cool on the back. They shaded some of the painting into the leather so it looks real, as well as that metallic looking buckle. The headband on this one was sculpted separately, so I did have to insert that into the back of his head. For a statue of a character that is standing still, I love the fact that they still were able to capture how dynamic it is with both the way that his cloak is moving and also his headband. Buckle up, because here is where we will be able to see how the difference in quality is so vast between the two. First off, I don't know if it's his head, headband, or hair, but something is making his head look awfully large. That mixed with the fact that the eyes are just off for some reason. Moving down to the crossed arms, if you look at the hands, man, they just look like one large blob. This one's kind of hovering above the hand, not even resting completely on the arm. I'm not sure if my camera's capturing it, but there's actually two different skin tones used here, as well as the paint application is so sloppy. There's also a molding line there on the shoulder. Just like the dusting cloud, there's a little bit of black marking on his leg for some reason. Unlike the authentic, to attach him to the base, you just have these two small plastic pegs. This one's mutilated. Again, the paint job for the skin tone is just so sloppy. As I mentioned before, these are some molding lines that happen when you're casting a statue. And then there's also some paint issues on the black part of his cloak. The leather strap on this one doesn't even look like leather. It's just all one color. And on the outside of the scrolls, there's this kind of pink look to it. It's just, again, just extremely sloppy paint jobs on both sides. Recast. I do want to be transparent with you. In the thumbnail and the title of the video, I said $450 versus $45. It's $450 for everything you see here. Gamakichi, Ma, Pa, Sage Mode Naruto, and he came with a separate base for him to stand on. He also, if you remove these two little parts on top of Gamakichi's head, we can mount Naruto on top of there, so it looks exactly like the scene from the show when he arrived back to Konoha Village. Please let me know in the comments below if this video was helpful for you, and also if you want to see a part 3 of authentic versus recast. As always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.